Hey friends, I'm Rhiannon from Drawn by Rhiannon, and today I am once again rearranging my studio. So last year I did actually do a studio tour video, but as you might have seen in my recent videos, that's not actually the current layout of the studio. So about a month after I did that video, I actually moved the sewing machine and the printer and the Cricut and everything round, and it kind of worked. But when I was doing all the sewing over Christmas, I discovered that there is just not enough room around the sewing machine, like sort of extra workspace. And also I've put all my workspaces, so my desk and my sewing machine, next to the big window, so there's lots of light, which you think would be a good thing, but unfortunately it just gives me a headache when I'm just looking straight at the sun. So it's come to the time that it needs sorting. As you can see from around me, there is stuff everywhere. It needed tidying up anyway, so I thought now was the time to rearrange the studio at the same time. So I mentioned this to my sister, who is very into organisation and everything, and she suggested to make a scale layout of the studio, and then I can just move things around and see where it's going to fit. So that is what I've done. Pretty much the whole time that I've had the studio space, I've used the same desk. It was like my dining table that I bought when I was a student, and it's a good size, but because it's a drop leaf table, the legs are sort of in an awkward place, so when I've got like my desk under it, there's like no sort of wiggle room, and I can't quite get properly under the desk, and it's a little thing, but it's so frustrating. If I'm on the computer all day, it's just really frustrating to not be able to get quite into the desk. So I have another table in the workshop, which I'm going to bring into the studio, and that's going to be like my work desk, where I have my computer and everything like that. So there's a little bit more space to get my legs in under the table there, and I am hoping that it's going to be better. In theory it should fit. I have measured it all up, put it on my little studio layout on the computer, and yes, in theory it should fit. So fingers crossed. I'm not quite sure how this is going to work out because it's not a huge space in here. I don't really know how I'm going to have the wiggle room to actually move everything around, and I'm also adding another big piece of furniture in. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm going to try and film it, but I don't quite know how that's going to work out when I'm moving stuff. So we'll give it a try. We'll see how it goes, and then yeah, I'll give you a quick little update when it's finished. Okay, so I was trying to do the whole studio at once, and I realised that is not going to work. There's just not enough space. So what I'm going to do first is this end of the studio. So I'm going to move everything across, sort of into this corner, go and grab the bigger table from the workshop, and hopefully that's just going to fit in really nicely in this corner like I had planned on my layout. And then I'm going to move the computer across. So I really want to get the computer settled before I'm moving anything else, because that's the most expensive thing in here, so I really want to make sure that I don't break that. So that is the first bit done. I've got all my computer and all my bits and pieces here. There's more space. This is going to sound really boring, but I can get like right in, can tuck right in, and then I've got space to move around, whereas before I was very much restricted. I had like this much space, couldn't actually get all the wheels under the desk. So yeah, that's going to be a lot better for when I'm working on the computer. And then I've just got the Cricut here and the printer here, so that they're close enough that they can connect with the computer. So I'm very happy with this little corner. I was a little bit concerned that it would be a bit tight because on my little drawing that I got here, it looked like it might be a bit tight with the chair against the Cricut, but it's fine. I've had a little jiggle round and it's all working fine, so I'm very happy with that. I will at some point just need to sort out all the pictures around here because some of them are now blocked by the computer screen, but that's going to be last finishing details. So now I need to make a start on the other end of the room, so this is probably going to be trickier because I've got the industrial sewing machine to move, which is pretty heavy, as I'm sure you can imagine, and then I've also got some really heavy pieces of furniture to move and not much space to move them in, so this is going to be interesting. Thankfully I have now got a laminate vinyl floor instead of a carpet, so it's a lot easier to sort of push things along the floor, so I'm hoping that's going to help me out. I also decided not to move the biggest, heaviest things, like the cupboard just in the background there, and there's also a bookcase in the corner. They weigh an absolute ton, and yeah, even when I did get the new flooring in, between me and the carpet fitter, we really struggled to move it. So I was like, you know what, let's just leave those where they are and we'll work around it. So I'm going to crack on with the other end of the room now. I'm going to see where I can put the camera so that you can sort of follow along with it, and yeah, let's see how it goes. So that actually went better than I was expecting. I had a bit of a panic when I put this the packaging cupboard in. The space that was left didn't look like it was big enough for this piece of furniture here, so I had a bit of a panic, but as you can see, it's perfect. It fits perfectly. I just never trust my maths when I've done something mathsy. But no, it all fits nicely. I had a bit of a disaster in that I managed to knock over a plant pot, so there's now just soil everywhere, all over the floor. There's lots of bits of zip ends and threads and everything, so I'm going to give it a really good sweep up and then go around and sort out where all the pictures are, and yeah, just sort of tidy it up really. So I also need to hang up my scissor hanger just above the sewing machine there, so I have a little thing that's got all my scissors hanging on it, and then I also got a new storage thing for Christmas that I'm going to be putting up as well. One little bonus that I hadn't actually realised, so I put the drop leaf table in and I was like, well, it fits, but it's kind of sticking out a lot, it's not very nice. And then I was like, oh my gosh, it's a drop leaf table, I can literally drop the leaf and tuck it in. So that's brilliant. I've not actually used it as a drop leaf table since I bought it, and for most of the time it's been really annoying the way that the legs are and everything, but in this circumstance it actually works out really well, so that when I'm sewing I can open up the table and have extra surface space, then when I'm not I can just fold it down and I've got more space in the studio. So now I'm going to have a sweep up, clean round, tidy up, and then hopefully the studio will be finished. So that is it. The studio is all finished. As you can see just behind me, I've rearranged all the pictures and everything so that nothing's being blocked by the computer screen. It's really nice to have a different view when I'm working because I've had literally the same view for about a year or so. And it's just nice to mix it up a bit, have some different pictures to look at when I'm working, so that's really nice. I also didn't realise quite how little sort of desk space I had before, whereas now I can actually spread out. I've got everything on my desk that I use sort of day to day, instead of having to put things away and then get them out and everything stacked on top of each other. There's actually enough room for everything now, so that's really good. So I thought I would just take you on a really quick little tour just to show you it all finished. So here we go. So as you could see before, this is the new workspace. Just got a lot more space on the desk for writing and things like that. And yeah, it's just nice to see different pictures when I'm working as well. So that all fits in nicely there. The zips are still where they were before. Like I say, all these big cupboards and the bookcase are where they were before because basically I can't move them on my own. Then just round on this side where I had the computer before, I now got the printer and the Cricut. So that really opens up the space here just by the door, it's just there. Whereas before you sort of come in the door and you're just like attacked by the chair. So it's a lot more of an open space now. And then just behind me just here, I've got the tissue paper hanging up, which is what I use to wrap orders. I did have this before on like a towel rail, but there's not actually space for that now. So I had this rail here from when the sewing machine was here, and I had all like little sewing bits hanging on the rail. So yeah, that was sort of an unexpected use for that, but it fits really nicely. So I've moved the sewing machine up a little bit so it's not right by the window like it was before, and now I've got space to have all my scissors. I am actually missing a pair, but I think they're in the workshop. And then this is the little storage thing I got for Christmas from my sister, and I've got all sorts of bits and pieces in here. I've got like my sewing labels and these sewing clips and some plasters because I'm forever stabbing myself and whatnot in the studio. So I've got that. And then the drop leaf table is just here, so as you can see at the moment, because I'm not sewing, it's just folded in to give me a bit more space. But then when I want to do some sewing and I need some extra workspace for sewing, I can just pull it out and I've got that extra space. So I'm really excited about that. I can't believe that I never thought to do that before, but there we go. So this is this end of the room. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I hope you're all having a lovely day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!